Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom nestled between rolling hills and whispering woods, there lived a young farmer named Cedric. He was kind, hard-working, and loved by everyone in the village. Every morning, as the sun kissed the sky, he would tend to his fields, caring for his crops as though they were his dearest friends. But Cedric had a secret. For as long as he could remember, Cedric had admired Laura, the daughter of the kingdom's wealthiest merchant. Laura was beautiful and graceful, with a smile that made the flowers bloom a little brighter, or so it seemed to Cedric. But she lived a life far beyond the simple farmer's reach. She wore silks, attended grand feasts, and was courted by noblemen from distant lands. No matter how hard he worked or how good he was, Cedric felt he would never be enough to win her heart. One day, while walking deep into the woods, Cedric found a hidden path he had never noticed before. The path led him to a sparkling spring, and beside it stood an ancient stone with strange carvings. From the spring emerged an old woman, her eyes glimmering like the stars. "Why so troubled, young one?" she asked, her voice as soft as the wind in the trees. Cedric, feeling safe in her presence, told her of his deep longing for Laura and how he wished more than anything to be worthy of her love. The old woman listened carefully, and when he finished, she gave him a thoughtful look. "Love born from desire alone can be dangerous, young Cedric," she warned, "but I can grant you what you seek, only if you are willing to face the consequences." Cedric, blinded by his desire, didn't hesitate. "Yes, I'll do anything. Just tell me what I must do." The woman waved her hand, and a shimmering bottle appeared before him. "Drink from this, and you will become wealthy, powerful, and admired by all. Laura will notice you, no doubt, but remember, there is always a price." Without considering her warning, Cedric eagerly drank from the bottle. Instantly, he felt a surge of power course through him. His simple tunic transformed into robes of fine velvet. His rough hands grew soft, and at his feet appeared a chest overflowing with gold and jewels. Cedric returned to the village, and just as the old woman had promised, people were amazed by his transformation. He quickly became the talk of the kingdom, and even Laura began to take notice of the once humble farmer. She smiled at him in passing and even invited him to a grand feast at her father's mansion. For a time, Cedric was the happiest he had ever been. Laura danced with him at the feast, and they laughed together under the stars. He felt as though his dreams were finally coming true. But as the days passed, strange things began to happen. Cedric's wealth grew larger and larger, but no matter how much gold he had, it never seemed to fill the emptiness inside him. His fields, which had once flourished, began to wither. The animals avoided him, sensing something wrong. And worst of all, when Cedric looked into the mirror, he hardly recognized the face staring back at him. His once kind eyes had grown cold, and his smile seemed forced, as though it belonged to someone else. He had everything he thought he wanted, but he no longer felt like himself. One evening, as the moon cast its silver glow over the land, Cedric returned to the magical spring, seeking the old woman. "Why am I not happy?" he asked, his voice trembling. "I have everything I desired, yet I feel empty." The old woman appeared again, her eyes filled with sadness. "I warned you, Cedric. True happiness cannot be bought with wealth or power. You have chased a hollow dream, and in doing so, you have lost your true self." Cedric fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "But what can I do? How can I undo this curse?" The old woman knelt beside him, her touch gentle. "The curse was born not from magic, but from your own heart. Only when you learn to love yourself for who you truly are, not for what you have, can the curse be broken." Cedric realized at that moment that he had been so focused on changing himself to win Laura's love that he had forgotten the most important thing: to love and value who he was inside. He returned to the village, no longer caring for the riches or the admiration of others. He let go of his desire to be something he wasn't and embraced his simple life once again. As he did, the withered crops in his field began to grow tall and green, and the village animals returned to his side. And Laura, though she had once been dazzled by Cedric's wealth and power, she now saw him for who he truly was: kind, humble, and strong in spirit. Over time, they became friends, and Laura admired the goodness that had always been in Cedric's heart. Cedric learned that true love and happiness couldn't be forced or bought. They came naturally when one was at peace with themselves.